Hello everybody and welcome to Executive Virtual Assistant Basics free webinar. Ayan, looks like I can talk in Taglish for today. So welcome to Executive Virtual Assistant Basics webinar. This is a 2-hour webinar or 1.5, so we can leave 30 minutes to answer your burning questions about how to become an Executive Virtual Assistant in 2024. Hold on, I'm just fixing our discount code. Perfect. Okay. Where are my slides? Okay, so no one commented English only, please. Perfect. Okay. If there's anyone who doesn't know how to speak Tagalog later on, just comment English only, please, and I'll try to speak more in English. Okay, so Executive Virtual Assistant Basics 2024, updated to na webinar because we learned so many new things for the past year that helped us to improve in our skill as an Executive Virtual Assistant or in our career. So let's start off by introducing myself first. For those who don't know, is new in my life, who doesn't know, who has never followed me before, well, my name is Mia, or Mia Juan. People call me MJ or Mia. I am an executive virtual assistant since 2021. Before being an EA, wala po akong experience sa freelancing, sa pagiging isang virtual assistant, or pagiging isang executive virtual assistant. My experience before was in the call center industry. So I've been working in the call center industry since 2005. And then, if you're going to 2005, how old am I? I'm already 39 years old. I just turned 39 last month. So I'm almost 40. Exciting. But before that, or after years of working in the call center industry, in 2017, I started na my own business. So it's my dream business, wedding and events planning. So full-time work ko yon, wedding and events planning. But then 2020 came and nagkaroon ng pandemic. So unfortunately, yung events industry was the hardest hit na industry during that time. Kasi syempre hindi pwede yung mga events kasi maraming tao. So, since bago pa lang yung business ko, hindi ko siya masusustain. So, I decided to focus on looking for work from home. And then, I was fortunate enough naman na during that time, I saw a Facebook ad that there was a company hiring full-time work from home executive virtual assistants. And then, ni-research ko, ano ba ang maging isang executive virtual assistant? Nagtingin ako ng mga tutorials sa YouTube, pero wala masyadong content creators pa during that time. Yung mga content creators na nakikita ko were those who are Americans. Kasi parang sa kanila medyo kilala na yung pagiging VA. And then during that time also, naisip ko na ang pagiging freelancer usually are reserved for the lucky few. So akala ko hindi talaga ako magkakaroon ng chance. Akala ko I just need really to go back to a call center who's currently offering work from home. Pero after I did my research kung ano ba yung executive VA kasi yun yung opening, doon ko nakita na parang yung skills ko before in the call center industry combined with yung skills ko as a wedding and events planner is actually transferable to becoming an executive assistant. So later, maituturo ko sa inyo, ano ba yung mga transferable skills na yon na natutunan nyo before sa inyong career na hindi naman freelancing na pwede nyong i-transfer sa pagiging isang virtual assistant ngayon. So yeah, I took the chance, nag-apply ako, and then very lucky naman that, well, hindi naman lucky, I worked hard to research yung kung ano ba yung trabaho, ano yung skills na dapat matutunan sa pagiging isang EVA. So nakuha ko naman yung work, and ever since then, I never got rematched. I've been working for my client for more than 2 years, and then I was promoted to an operations manager. And then when I was an operations manager, I handled a team of 15 executive virtual assistants plus their clients. And then now, after I left the agency, I went to a direct client, and then I just ended my contract with my client last week ko na sa kanya this week. And then starting mid-September, I'll be an operations manager again, handling a team, hindi pa pala handling a team of EVAs, but I will be an operations manager for a hindi siya VA, sourcing, para outsourcing company, ganyan. So, hindi, direct client pa din siya, pero I'll be coming in as an operations manager. Okay, so, that's me. Yun ang history ko sa pagiging executive virtual assistant. Walang experience, but now thriving in this role. And I will never go back. I'll never, even if yung may risks tayo ng freelancing, yung mawawalan ka ng client, katulad ng nangyari sa akin, I'll never go back to the corporate industry. It's just really not for me. I like being a freelancer or a VA. May mga nagtatanong sa glasses, nabili ko po sa Quiapo. Mother, if you're watching, paki-comment kung saan natin nabili to. This is 800 pesos kasama na yung lens. Sobrang mura sa Quiapo. Okay, so what are we going to talk about for today? We're going to talk about yung mga definition of terms, especially for those that are new, doesn't have any experience or idea kung ano ba ang isang executive virtual assistant. Yung mga skills na kailangan yung matutunan, as well as tools. Yung mga tools na to, these are the updated tools na you need to learn as an EVA right now to help you sa work na to. Oh, we have someone who kindly speak in English. Okay, I got you. I hope you're still here. If you're still here, please comment English only, please. I just saw your comment now. Okay, the next one or the next topic is the job platforms that you need to use for you to be able to create an online profile and where you can look for clients. Okay, so let's define the term first. So, if you're not familiar what an executive virtual assistant is, or what's the difference between an executive virtual assistant and your general VA or the virtual assistant, then here we go. So first up, for executive virtual assistant, ang definition nito is a person employed to assist a high-level manager, meaning these are the executives, C-level executives, directors, company owners, with personal and administrative tasks. Okay, so as an executive virtual assistant, you're doing two things for your client: personal and administrative or work tasks. So you're just not focusing on work tasks. Later on, when we talk about the skills, you will know what I'm talking about. Like, what are personal tasks, what are professional or administrative tasks. And the big difference, let's move on now. So at least now you have a high-level idea of what an executive virtual assistant is. And now we'll dive deep on, we'll talk about kung ano ba yung difference between your general VA and executive VA. Some people are asking if this is recorded. Yes, since we are live on Facebook, you will see this, I think a few minutes after I end the live. It's recorded on Facebook. And then we'll upload it also on YouTube. Okay, so let's compare. Ang kilala natin right now is general VA, diba? When you start off as general virtual assistant. My webinar a few weeks back was about general virtual assistant. So yun yung parang entry level natin. If we don't have any experience, you can come in as a general VA so that you'll gain your experience. But if you are someone who already has experience or work experience before, you have transferable skills that will help you to become an executive virtual assistant, which is a higher level VA or niche. So, ang difference kasi nila, if you are coming in as a general VA, you're looking for a client who will tell you what to do. Okay? So, yung client na yon will tell you na, okay, these are the things that you need to do on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You will answer emails, you will make calls, you will submit this report, and that's it. Deliver whatever it is that you need to deliver, and that's fine. If you need to do marketing, if you need to do a little bit of finance, admin work, blah, 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 then that's it. Those are the things that you're going to do. So yun yung general VA. That's why if you are a general VA, you have the you can get multiple clients, let's say 2 or 3. Ako, I would think maximum 2. So yeah, you can get multiple clients. Yes, you can ask questions here, and then I have Tracy helping out writing down your questions so that we can get to them later on. So just ask your questions. Sample tasks, we'll get to that later. Okay, so general virtual assistant, ganon. So you just you just wait for your client to tell you what to do. Okay? Sa executive virtual assistant naman, ang difference talaga niyan is you help your client reach their goals. So si client is hiring you because you are an expert in inbox management, in calendar management. The client is looking for an executive assistant to help him manage his life, not just to be an order taker. Ganun ang executive virtual assistant. Yun yung big difference niya. That's why kung magkakaroon ka or titingnan mo, i-compare mo yung onboarding call ng General VA to an executive virtual assistant, si General VA will be asking, okay, what are the things that I'm going to do for you? Ano yung schedule ko? What are the things, ang output ko? Kailan ko siya deadline? Kapag executive virtual assistant naman, ang discovery call or ang onboarding call niya is to ask yung client, saan ka nahihirapan? Anong problema mo sa calendar mo? Anong problema mo sa inbox mo? And then ikaw as an executive virtual assistant, iisipin mo ngayon kung paano mo tutulungan yung client. Ikaw yung magsasabi, okay, since something's wrong with your calendar, I'm going to fix your calendar for you. This is what your calendar will look like. Tapos ikaw yung sa inbox naman niya, ikaw din mag-aayos ng inbox niya. Ikaw yung mag-filter, magle-label to tell your client na, okay, we're going to reach inbox 0. I will leave yung unread messages dito, tas yan lang yung dapat mong basahin. So, ikaw yung actually nagte-take charge doon sa life ng client mo so that your client can focus on the bigger picture. Okay? Hindi ka nagka-come in or hindi ka naghihintay na uutusan ka. Ikaw yung actually maghahanap ng mga things that you can do for your client. That's what an executive assistant is. And yun yung big difference between general VA or an EVA. Okay. So yeah, just post your questions in the chat. I'm getting all of the screenshots ng questions ninyo and then we'll get to that later on. Okay? I hope that's clear. Clear naman ang definition or ang difference natin for general VAs and EVAs, correct? Yes, clear? Say yes in the comment sections. May konting delay lang siya, but say yes. Okay. Yes, clear, perfect. Okay. So, next thing, let's talk about naman yung benefits ng pagiging isang virtual assistant. Kasi, di ba nagkaroon tayo ng big issue just the past few weeks na mas maganda daw. Oh, ang haba ng mga questions, Trace, paano na lang, pa-screenshot. Di ba nagkaroon tayo ng mga issues a few weeks back na hindi daw maganda. When you are a virtual assistant and you work from home, it makes you dumb every day. O, di ba? So, anong tawag dito? So, let's talk about ano ba yung benefits. Para hindi naman kayo maisipin nyo, hala, pag naging work from home pala ako or naging virtual assistant ako, mabobobo pala ako. No. Hindi naman sa ganon. But let's talk about the benefits. Ano ba yung benefits if you start working from home as an executive virtual assistant or a virtual assistant and a freelancer? Syempre, yung flexibility ng time nandiyan yan. Gusto talaga natin maging work from home kasi convenient, wala tayong traffic, less gastos. We have more time with family. And then, ang maganda din dito, if you are an executive VA, yung variety of tasks. Hindi ka puro repetitive task lang kasi you do a lot of things for your client, which you will find out later on once we talk about the skills. So you do a lot of different tasks for your client. That's why masaya maging EVA. The next thing naman, if you really focus on or if gusto mo maging full-time as a freelancer or a virtual assistant or an executive VA, you can be your own boss. Kasi tatandaan ninyo, if you decide to dive talaga and be a full-time executive virtual assistant or virtual assistant, this is already a business. So tatanggalin mo na yung employee mindset mo. Okay? If you want to be your own boss, you want to call your own shots, you want to earn X amount of money na ikaw magsasabi, ito yung gusto kong makuha, you already need to be, to have a business mindset or an entrepreneur mindset. Hindi ka na employee. Because you're selling your own services. Para ka ng online seller. You sell your own services online sa mga clients na looking to hire a VA. Yan. And of course, ang pinakamaganda sa lahat na benefits is we earn in dollars. Ngayon lang medyo malungkot ang mga virtual assistant. Yung mga virtual assistant dyan or mga freelancers dyan, alam yung bumababa na yung dollars. Dahan-dahan bumababa yung dollars. So medyo nalulungkot tayo. But still, anong tawag dito? It's still amazing that we earn in dollars, 'di ba? Instead of us na maghahanap pa ng trabaho sa ibang bansa, we can stay here, enjoy time with our family, but still able to earn in dollars. Yan. Okay, so those are the different benefits that you can get once you decide to become a VA or an EVA. Now, bakit naman siya good for Filipinos? Once we already know the benefits, iisipin natin ngayon na ang dami nang gusto maging virtual assistant. Bakit pa ako sasama sa wave na yan? Okay? That's because right now, according to Upwork, ang Filipino ay ang may pinakamalaking nado-dominate niya yung market ng virtual assistants. So all of the foreigners are looking at the Philippines to hire VAs. That's because we have a very good, strong ethic, masisipag tayo, maganda ang English proficiency natin compared to other countries, and we have a cultural advantage because we are very familiar with the Western culture. Okay? Yun yung advantage natin. Mahilig tayo manood ng Hollywood movies. We have a lot of relatives who are living in the US. So, very familiar tayo sa buhay ng mga Amerikano. So, hindi na tayo nahihirapan mag-adjust na makipagtrabaho sa kanila. And that's our advantage. So, right now, there are a lot of clients. Sabihin ko na lang sa inyo, kung iisipin niyo saturated na. Okay? There are a lot of clients, even agencies, that are approaching me asking if I can help them hire EVAs or if I can refer executive virtual assistants. Kasi kapag nag-promote, parang meron tong isang client nagsabi sa akin, agency lumapit sa akin, sabi niya, Mia, can you help us? Kasi we posted an opening for an executive virtual assistant role. There were hundreds of applicants in just less than 24 hours. Pero while they go through all of the portfolios, the profiles, sobrang konti lang nung qualified. And then ito pa yung kicker dyan. Yung mga qualified na may magandang background, kahit walang executive virtual assistant, hindi nagsho-show up sa interview. Foreign clients na to ha, hindi ito Pinoy interviewers, 'di ba? Ang dami nating nakukuhang hate. Pagdating sa Pinoy interviewers, these are foreign clients. Now, nung nag-deep dive kami as to bakit hindi sila nag-a-attend, it's because there's a lot of people who just send their applications without actually reading kung ano ba yung job description. So, once in-invite sila sa interview, ayaw na nilang mag-attend kasi feeling nila hindi sila pasok dun sa job description. So, even if it feels like ang daming mga Pilipino na nag-a-apply, you have to learn the skills for you to be able to be confidently applying sa mga executive virtual assistant positions. Later on, sasabihin ko din sa inyo bakit executive virtual assistant ang mainit ngayon, ang talagang hinahanap ng mga clients ngayon. So, yan yun. So, let's take advantage of the fact that all of the foreigners are looking in the Philippines to hire VAs.